Well, hello, stamping friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it's time for Facebook Live. So I believe, first week of June, and this month I'm actually going to be featuring different designer series paper and the way that I use it in my projects, since this month a number of our designer series paper from Stampin' Up! Is at a 15% discount. So that's a great deal. And I think it's always really helpful to see things being used on projects to decide if it's something for you. So that's one of the benefits, hopefully, of this month's Facebook Live. Plus, always, I want to share great stamping ideas with you. So let's go ahead, put the camera down, and I'll just remind you as you're coming aboard today to please put your name in the comments as well as where you're watching from. And if you have any questions and or feedback, please put that in the comments as well. For those of you that will be watching this on replay, please also use the comments because I do watch them after the broadcast and I will respond to you even if it is after we've finished the live broadcast. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down here so that you can see the desktop. Here we go, 1 minute of upside down. Let me just make sure that's straight. And I just need to get my computer to share your comments with me here. There we go. All right. Got to refresh it. And gosh, what beautiful weather we're having here in Wisconsin. I hope that the rest of you are enjoying wonderful weather as well. Okay, let's see. So hi, Carol, and thank you for sharing. The biggest compliment you can give to me is to share this broadcast with your family and friends. So Carol, thank you for doing that. I just wanted to show you a glimpse here of the designer series paper that are 15% off this month. We are going to be doing the online exclusive paper. Let's see. It is not listed on, oh yes it is, right here. Hello Irresistible is the paper we're going to be using tonight. And you can find more of this in my weekly email, and you can also go to my Stampin' Up! Store to find out about this. I did check the price of the paper that I'm using on this sale is $10.62 instead of $12.50. So almost $2 of savings. So just wanted to update you on that. And before I get into the two quick cards that I told you in my intro I was going to do, I have two other little bonus things I want to do. So we haven't done a happy note for a while. And for those of you that may not know what a happy note is, it's just basic white cardstock or very vanilla. I cut them 2 1/4 by 4 inches. And whenever I get a new stamp set, this is the way I start because it is not intimidating, it's easy, and I just want to do something quick to check out the stamp set. So we're using the Irresistible Blooms stamp set tonight. So I'm going to be using something from there. We're also going to be using the dies that match this set, and I've taken out a couple that we're going to use tonight. But this is the bundle of the stamp set and the dies that you can get for 10% off when you buy them together. To give you a little better look at what this looks like, I did make this, I don't know what you would call it, just kind of a summary sheet, I guess, of what the stamps look like when they are, the sentiments look like when they're stamped. I love these. Thank you. I like you. Hooray, it's your day, and I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. I love these 2 flowers. So there's 2 different sizes. And then there's a leaf stamp with 2 leaves, and there's one with 3. And then the die cutting, oh yes, and then there's these great dots. I'm going to use those tonight. Then as far as additional dies, so we can cut out the 2 leaf, the 3 leaf, the flowers. They have some additional leaves that either have the veins in them or ones without. And then they have these really cool cutouts. I really, really like this set. So I just thought I would do that to help you see what's available there. And then for the designer series paper, it's a 6x6 pack. And it is, let's see here, probably going to have to move this out of my way for now. Anyway, 6x6, it has 48 sheets. And there are actually 12 different sheets with, I can see this a little crooked. Let's see. Is that more crooked? No, that's better. Okay, 12 sheets, double-sided. And these are all then the choices that you get from the paper. It is so pretty. It's so soft, but yet I love some of the darker colors. Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock are in here, as well as Soft Sea Foam. So anyway, just a little look at what is available in this suite. But let's go ahead and get started and do something with our happy note. So happy notes, as I started to tell you, is not only an easy way to get started with the stamp set, it's also something that can be a starter for a card. It's something you can keep in your purse and give to somebody that helps you out at the library, or a waitress that helps you out. And you want to give her something extra along with the tip. Let's see. I'm going to just do a little flower on here. And I'm going to do some leaves. Oh boy. Very brand new Stampin. I'm using Lost Lagoon tonight. For the first time. The last time I made this card, I made a sample when I was trying to plan for tonight. I used Pretty Peacock, but I decided to do Lost Lagoon tonight. All right, so we're going to, let's see here. Get just our leaf on there. I've got my Simply Chamois off to the side here. Just going to wash these stamps off because I'm going to be using them on the other projects that I've prepared for tonight. Okay. And let's see. I think I'm going to do the I Like You. There, I'm remembering that I just need to tap this very lightly. There we go. I love this font. Hi, Roberta. Okay, so let's set that aside. And then I just want to show you, you know, these stamp sets that have the dots or a splatter, they really kind of just add a little something extra to this. So I did stamp that off so it's a little lighter. But doesn't that just add something? Oh, you know what? I want to go all the way over here to the, there we go. All right. So when you see these in your stamp set, or sometimes, you know, when I get a great splatter, I'll keep it out on my desktop, even if I'm not using that set, just to be able to add a little something extra. So here is a happy note, so easy. Frame it with designer series paper, put a little Lost Lagoon behind it, and you'd actually have a card. But otherwise, like I said, I like to just give these out for random reasons, or put in my husband's lunch, my son's lunch, and gives them a smile. So I encourage you to make happy notes. Okay, so then, last month I was sharing with you how to use scraps. And I want to remind you also, I just put a blog post on www.plumcrazystamping.com all about storage ideas for cardstock, designer series paper, and all the scraps associated with that, as well as die cut and sentiments. So I put pictures of how I store all of that, as well as wrote to you about how I do that and why. So I encourage you to look that up. But anyway, when I was getting ready for tonight's broadcast, I had my 6x6 paper here, Hello Irresistible, and there were a number of scraps in here, so I thought, why not make a quick card as a bonus for you out of scraps? And so here, these were actually pretty small, but I just lined them up along my card front and trimmed them off from the back. And now I'm going to just create a card front, and I'm going to use that Lost Lagoon again, but I'm going to use the large flower and just put it right here alongside the scraps that I've already attached to my card front. And then I want to do the leaves. This time I'll do the 2 leaves. Let's see here. Try to get it right in between the scraps. Kind of put it off on this other side. There we go. I like that this stamp set has the 2 and the 3 leaf option. They really do look quite different. And this one, I'm actually going to make a thank you. Okay. There we go. Close that for a minute. Now, how easy was that? I'm just going to center this on my regular card front size, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Whatever ink you use, I would use the card, the card front. I'd put it on a layer that matches the ink, just to kind of set that off. And then I'm just putting this on a standard card base for a medium envelope. And there, what would have been in the garbage is now going to end up in somebody's mail. And that was so easy. So just wanted to give that to you as a little bonus today. Now let's go ahead and get to the cards that I wanted to feature tonight. So first we're going to start with a very easy card. And this is going to be just the example of letting the designer series paper do the work for you. So let's just do this quickly together. I'm going to set this off to the side because I do need to get my trimmer. One of the things that I wanted to point out to you on this card is many times when I do this card front, I'll tell you that my normal or go-to, I guess, measurement is 4 by 5 1/4. This paper was so pretty. I wanted a very tiny border, but I did want to cut this a little bit bigger. So this is actually 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 to just put a 1/16 of an inch all the way around the card. So it's just a little bit bigger, but I really think it does make a big difference in being able to see more of the designer series paper. So I am going to take my designer series paper here and just cut this down. So I think I have already cut this. This was just a piece of 6 by 6, and I have already used 2 inches of it. Oh, I must not have used a full 2 inches because I still have more than that left. But anyway, I'm going to be cutting this to 4 1/8. So let's just slide this on here at 4 1/8. Okay, add more scraps over here. And then I'm going to trim off the top because I want to benefit from all of the flowers on here. And now I'm going to do 5 3/8. So that's right between 5 1/4 and 5 1/2. All right. So that was easy. And I'm going to go ahead and just take now, I am, just to be a little different tonight, I'm going to use a 11 inch by 4 1/4, and it is scored at 5 1/2. And then I'm just going to take my multi-purpose glue and glue this on my, and it is thick cardstock I'm using, since I am just using designer series paper, so it gives the card a little bit more, it feels a little more substantial. And this is going on crooked, and it doesn't want to slide. I might have cut that a little crooked. Oh well. It will be fine. It's art. They'll know it's handmade, right? Okay. Then what I wanted to do, there was a complimentary piece of paper in this series of designer series paper. So I decided to just cut a flower out of the lighter colored designer series paper. And then I found the place, you can see on this one, I covered up the flower underneath so it looks like it's double layered. So this time I'm going to do it over here, or I could do it right here. I think I'll do it up here on this one, all right? And what I did to make this look more 3D is I take my bone folder and I am just going to curl up the ends of the petal on this flower so that it looks, you know, 3D, and it will, you know, pop a little bit, right? Okay, so now that I have that done, I am going to use dimensionals to adhere this to the front. And I'm going to just put 2 together in the center so that I can keep those edges popping up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to line that flower up with the one beneath it so that if you're looking at this up close, you can see that there is other flower petals underneath, and it looks like it's actually 2 layered, which really looks unique, right? Then the other thing is we're going to use a little bit of our Wink of Stella. Now I'm hoping the Wink of Stella is nearby here. Sometimes she ends up all over the place. Nope, here she is. Okay, so this is just our glitter pen, and I'm just going to use it to accent the inside of these flowers. So I'm going to put a little bit of it there. We're going to have a little bit inside this flower. Just make some shine. Get some on this flower. And I'm going to put it on the one that we're popping up and embellishing. I'm trying to use the brush tip around the edges where I'm doing this in the center, because the stamen of this flower, you know, has little pointy things. So I'm kind of trying to keep with that design by hitting the tip of the brush. All right, so we've added a little shine there. And then the last thing I want to do with this is I do want to make the center even a little bit more noticeable. So I'm going to use our iridescent pastel gems. Actually, this was part of the Fancy Flora suite, but I really love the color of these clear gems. So let me get my take your pick tool here and use that to actually, I want to put a little section of 3 of these to really make this stand out. Okay. Now I could use just one big one, but I kind of like the group of the 3 on here. Hi Barb, nice to see you. All right, so there. Now that was quick and easy. And can you see the wink of Stella? It might be hard to see on camera. Try to move it around here a little bit so you can see the shine. And then you could put whatever you'd like inside. I think what I'm going to do is make this a thank you on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Flirty Flamingo to do that, because then it'll kind of match the front of the card. And I could also, I'm going to do a little bit more on the inside of the next card, but it could be done with this one too. Just try to make sure I have the ink on the word, but not on the red rubber. Okay, so there we go. So we have one card. And let's go ahead and take a peek at our second card. All right, so this time, the feature that I'm trying to point out this time is just how simple you can do a dual layer on the card front. You know, actually create a focal image that I'm going to be cutting out with my die cuts, and how nice that looks. And then on the inside, we're going to use a little bit of those dots to make that pop, okay? So I'm taking, once again, I have the 11 by 4 1/4, and I have that scored at 5 1/2. Now the first layer, this time I did keep it at the 4 5 1/4. Oops. 4 inches by 5 1/4. Just gonna use my multi-purpose glue on this to create the first layer. Okay. And then I'm going to create a second layer, which I want to pop up. So I'm going to glue together the second layer. The Designer Series paper on this one is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. Okay, and I'm going to put that on the white, which is cut at, let's see here, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Okay. So I just wanted the little white border to have that stand out. That was my aim. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the large dimensionals here, because I want the whole card front to pop up this time. Got 2 for the price of 1. So as soon as I get this on the front of the card, we'll be ready to do just a little stamping. So you could die cut right out of some designer series paper if you didn't have the stamp set and just had the paper. Just gonna put this down gently and try that there. Okay, so now that's all popped up with dimensionals. And let's do our stamping. So I'm gonna just close my glue here. Now this time I'm taking the largest flower and I'm going to do the 3 leaves here. And I'm going to do it in Lost Lagoon. Okay, so let's just, and I'm going to try to do these as close as I can because I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss machine. So it's a little bit, you know, thinner than the big emboss machine. Okay, so we've got that. And let's do the leaves. I want to keep them a little bit apart from one another because I do have to make sure that I can fit the die around it, which I'm going to do here with a little washi tape. Okay, so I just kind of move this around till wow, that was lucky. Have it land right where it needed to. And then to hold it in place, just a little washi tape here. I always kind of put it on my clothes a little bit so it's not quite as sticky. All right. And let's do the same for the leaf die here. Okay. Now let me bring my cut and emboss machine in here. So this is the mini cut and emboss. This is great to take places with you, and also it's so nice to have near my desk. It doesn't take up as much room. My bigger die cutting machine actually sits right to the side of me and kind of takes up a whole table, so I really enjoy this. Now what I'm going to do to make it fit on here is I'm just going to cut the second side of this off to help it to fit right in there. I'm going to make my sandwich here with my base plate and 2 cutting plates. All right, and then I'm just going to roll it through. You're going to hear a little noise, and if you do, it's doing its work. Oh, it wasn't even that noisy. Okay, and then I'm going to just slide it off of here. All right, and then take our die. Just carefully remove that. We've got our flower. And now I need to get I kind of taped the whole leaf inside of the die here. So just carefully remove that so I don't tear it. All right. And get the dies off of here. All right. Set those off to the side. Okay, and let's go ahead and we'll stamp the inside of our card, and then we're going to be done. So I think I'm going to take the smaller flower this time. stamp that here in the corner. And I think we'll do the 2 leaves. Stamping that. Okay. Then I'm going to do the I like you in here. And I'm doing it different. I thought I'd put it at the bottom and I'll write my whole note on the top. Just a little something different. And then I really liked how using the dots around the message adds to the card. I think I'm going to go up a little bit there. All right, something different. I'm going to close my ink here. So you could also just use those dots on your envelope flap if you'd like. Let's see, I'm going to put dimensionals on the flower, and I'm going to put glue on the leaves so that it looks like the leaves are underneath the flower. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I do like to mix it up a little bit so that it looks like there's some differing dimension on the front of the card. Just makes it pop a little bit, and you know how it feels when you get something that has, you know, it kind of goes off the edge a little bit. There. So how simple is that to use designer series paper for 2 different layers and then just use the same stamp set inside? So I'll go ahead and put these this is Pretty Peacock, so you can see the difference in the colors. And both of this has Flirty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight. And we've got our card using a scrap and our happy note. So just the last thing before I leave you this evening is just to remind you that I am doing an online class next week, Tuesday. It'll be live, and I'm doing a birthday card bonanza. And each of these cards have something unique. Besides the designer series paper, this is a pop-up, so I will be showing you how to do that. And then I have another fun fold, and using some really cool die cuts on this card. So really a way to make something pop. And then this is a new tri-fold card, so we're going to do embossing as well as use designer series paper differently and have a 3-page card. So you'll be seeing that come up on my emails to you, and also on my Facebook page. If you are interested and don't have either of those things coming your way, don't hesitate to contact me at Traci, T-R-A-C-I, at plumcrazystamping.com. Let me go ahead and flip you up here so that I can say thank you so much for joining me tonight. Once again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I really appreciate our time together. I will look forward to seeing you either in class on Tuesday evening, or next week, Wednesday, we'll be doing another Facebook Live. So between now and then, I hope you get out your stamping stuff and you have a great time making some super projects, and maybe think about having some mail to put in for the postal person on Monday, and share some happiness with your family and friends. Thanks a lot for joining me. Take care now. Bye-bye.